I remember it as if it was yesterday. I was taking a walk with my father through one of the Lisbon's main streets. We lived in Lisbon since he was working there as an engineer. I stopped to look at that store window for a while, and I stayed there so long that my father got scared when he realized that I wasn't walking with him anymore. My gaze was fixated on a painting of a boy with a sad expression. He was crying, and his gaze was just indescribable. I had never seen something like it before. I was about 10 years old and didn't understand anything about art, but that painting still had an emotional impact on me. When my father finally found me, I apologized to him for worrying him and showed him that mesmerizing painting. It had the same effect on him. He felt as if the painting had some sort of supernatural force. And it turns out that painting did have such a force, but we didn't know yet. We went back home talking about the painting, but we didn't go into the store to at least ask how much did it cost, which made me feel sad and disappointed. However, there was a reason we didn't. The next week was my birthday, and my father gave me that painting as a gift. I was so happy. We didn't take long to place it in my room's hallway, and from then on, I would spend long hours contemplating that sad boy. I still don't know if the painting had anything to do with this, but the truth is that since we brought it to our house, many strange things started to happen. Every night, it became common for doors to close on their own. We started hearing murmurs coming out of nowhere, and we also started having accidents at home more often. We tried to find a logical explanation for all this, but we didn't find it, and living in that house was turning into a living nightmare. This situation was especially painful for my father. Since my mother passed away, he would always do his best to protect me as much as possible. And then one afternoon, it happened. I stayed alone in the living room drawing while my father went to get groceries. Everything was fine at first, when suddenly I saw how from beneath the door, smoke was starting to come in. I got very scared when I went to open the door and saw that the kitchen was in flames. In a few seconds, the fire expanded everywhere, and even though I desperately looked for a way out while screaming like crazy, I couldn't find one. The hall was filled with smoke. I was dead scared, and I ended up curling up in a corner and praying. I had my eyes closed, and I was tightening my mouth so much that my jaw was about to break. In the distance, I heard the fire truck sirens, and that relieved me. Surely a neighbor called the firefighters and they would rescue me soon. However, before the firefighters came in, my father bursted in wearing no protective gear and crossed that huge wall of fire to take me out. We survived, although with many burns, both physical and psychological. Nothing was left of the house, well, except for that strange painting. We never understood how it was possible that it didn't catch on fire, but later on we learned about more cases like ours. Turns out we had purchased a cursed painting. Hey there again, tiktakers. Have you ever heard of the series of paintings named Weeping Children? Their author is Bruno Amadio, and it is believed that the paintings he created are cursed, including his most popular one titled The Crying Boy. Bruno was born in Venice in 1911, although he later adopted the pseudonym of Giovanni Bergolin. His story is especially peculiar. He created 27 paintings that portrayed children with pretty sad expressions, as well as big teardrops sliding across their faces. It is believed that Bruno was inspired by many children he saw during the war. When these paintings were sold, different tragedies related to them started to take place. On September 4th, 1985, the British diary The Sun published the testimony of a Yorkshire firefighter. He said that he had been in many different fires and that in all of them the house would end up completely destroyed, but that for some reason those paintings of crying children would always remain intact after a fire. The very firefighters were forbidden from buying any of the paintings in the series since they considered the paintings were cursed. And in the following months, different media outlets published news about houses catching on fire while having a weeping children painting in them. Then, 2 months after the news published by The Sun, the very newspaper organized massive burnings of the paintings that the readers sent to them. Moreover, rumors spread that Bruno had done a pact with the devil due to his sparse success as a painter. The most popular painting in the series, The Crying Boy, was pretty sought after by buyers and found a place in many homes around the world. However, over time, news started to come out about those homes catching on fire, as well as worms appearing behind the paintings. It was believed that the painting brought bad luck, and some discovered that if you turn it upside down, the image kind of looks like a fish devouring a child. It is believed that the painting was based on a boy who lived at an orphanage and that the author gifted that very painting to the institution. That orphanage also caught on fire, ending the lives of all the children there. After the ill fame of these paintings became more widely known, many people threw them away from their houses to avoid their curse. However, there are some brave people who still keep these paintings in their homes. Would you dare have one of these in your house, TikTakers? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. And if you want to see more Draw My Life videos, subscribe to our channel. See you in the next episode!